I look at these shows all the time. I've watched 2 clips of it, and I can say it's a scripted situation. The lighting is perfect. The seating is perfect.
Yeah.
And then someone said, go. Now, what happens after go might not be scripted, but the scenario is scripted.
It's created,
and so then for them to talk like they talk, that is wild. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Raising Heights with Zach and Tori. We have lots to talk about today.
I don't even know what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today?
A lot of little things to talk about.
We're just talking about how it's taken me, how long have we been married? 10 years?
10 years, but you were probably doing coffee before we were married.
That's probably pretty accurate.
I'm
but
pretty sure.
I feel like coffee really was introduced to my life once we had kids. Then it was like a necessity. Before kids, it was like, yeah, sure, I'll take a coffee.
Yeah.
But so it's been 10 active years of Zach trying to get me to drink coffee at home.
Of Tori bringing home, Tori will bring home some random.
I've bought a Keurig, bought an espresso.
Yeah, all these machines, and then I end up using them.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
I use them
and
for
I'm
a week.
Black coffee. Now this is a 2-shot, just straight up.
Gnarly.
2-shot espresso.
See, this is the difference between Zach and I. And this is like a metaphor for our life, honestly, is you're the just get it done. You're like, I just need the energy. Where for me, I need to enjoy getting my
That's
energy.
how I am with everything, though. My food, my drink.
That's what I'm saying. It's a metaphor for us as humans.
I'm drinking this to be energized.
Zachary, with food, I'm a total foodie, and I will go out of my way for a good meal.
No.
And
I'll
Zach's
go out
like,
of my way for a good meal, but I'll eat it.
No. But you don't care.
Yeah.
You don't care if it's a good meal. You're like, is it sustenance? Perfect. Let me have it.
Yeah, I will eat it because I don't want to feel hungry later, or I need energy, or I don't want to be inconvenienced. It's like going to the bathroom, okay? No, it is, okay? You're having a great time, but then you're hungry. And so then you have to leave this great time to go get food when you should have probably eaten when you had the chance.
What does that have to do with the bathroom? You said it's like going to the bathroom.
No, bathroom, don't have a choice. So go to the bathroom when you need to go to the bathroom. But I'm saying like bathroom, like, but hunger, you can affect that a little differently. You know what I'm saying? So.
Where for me, I will like fully, Jackson's birthday, he chose hibachi for dinner. I didn't eat anything that day because I was like, I need to like be fully hungry and present when I sit down to hibachi because it's also my favorite meal. So I need to enjoy it. It's not sustenance. This is an experience for me.
Yeah.
That's how I am with all food.
Anyway, that was a weird intro.
So coffee.
Yeah.
Welcome to Raising Heights, where we talk about coffee.
Our showrunner gave us a template and we already destroyed it after the second episode here.
We're so good at running the show. It's great.
Well, we can call that the intro. That was a long intro. You're doing a great job drinking your own coffee at home.
Babe.
Okay?
That's what I needed to hear.
Not spending $8 a day.
I was spending $8 a day, you guys.
Yeah.
So now what is that a week? What's 8 times 7?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
40.
40.
Oh my gosh, what's 8 times 7?
56?
No, that's 8.
No, 7 times 7 is 49.
7 times 7? Wait.
7 times 8 is 56.
You're right. It's 56. I was a kindergarten teacher, okay? We only had to count to 20.
I took 5 years to get past Portland Community College, so.
Which also, anyway, we don't need to talk about that. But okay, so I'm saving $56 a week. So what is that a year? Let's see, 56 times 52.
It's diabolical.
It's almost $3,000 a year. That's insane. Tori. I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
I've told you this.
But honestly, it's my therapy, you guys. Like, I get my coffee and that's my me time in the morning. It's my little extra drive to just sip on my iced coffee. You don't care.
No, I do care.
Okay, you guys, I'm so excited. We have new merch. It's officially here.
New merch.
Peak and Pit. Okay, it was so cute. I didn't wear this. I wore a t-shirt that had our Peak and Pit on it. And Jackson was like, what is that? Yeah. And then I told him, I'm like, dude, it's peak like a mountain and pit like a valley. And he looked at it and the smile that came across that kid's face was the cutest. I was so excited. We
got to get him a shirt.
I know, we do.
Get on that roll off.
I will get on that. Oh my gosh. I have too many things on my plate. Roll off. You need to take over something at some point.
No, you need.
But new merch. I'm so excited about this new hoodie. This is like probably a little bit more, also my hair is everywhere. This is probably a little bit more feminine. Like I don't think a guy would wear this. So ladies, hi, this is for you. I did size up in this. This is, I'm going to say this is an extra large because I wanted it to be a little oversized, and crop doesn't always agree with my belly, but I love it. It's so comfy, cozy, new merch.
Nice. Awesome. Good
right
job.
Right now, this is only available to members. So that's a segue into you guys. A couple of you have joined, which is so cool. But if you join raisingheights.com, you guys get 15% off of merchandise. You also get access to the new drop, which is the Peak and Pit line, which I'm very excited about.
It doesn't cost anything to become a member though, right?
There's different tiers. There's different tiers, and I wish that our showrunner was here to tell you what those are because...
Go check it out, though.
Yeah.
Do your little...
I want to say there's a trial, though. You could do a trial and get
mosey around and see what we can find here.
But speaking of Peak and Pit, what is Peak and Pit?
Peak and Pit is your highs and lows of the day, the week, the month, the year, and something conversation we do with our kids and just fun little conversation starters. Yeah. What are your peaks?
I love whenever we ask. So Lila will go around the entire dinner table every night. We sit down to do Peak and Pit. She'll do everyone else like, okay, mom, dad, what was your peak? Yeah. Jackson, what was your peak? Josiah. She'll do everyone first, and then once it's her turn, I got 3 peaks. Yeah. And she'll just like go off.
But she's learned, I want to get everyone else done because
I need the attention fully on me.
I got a lot to say here.
Yeah, I have so much to say.
Okay. No, Lila does a cute job with that.
She loves Peak and Pit. She's our hype girl. I love her.
Do you got some peaks?
Peaks. What did we do this week? I don't even know what we did this week.
Air show?
Oh, that's a good one. Is that your peak?
Jackson's fishing birthday party.
That was so okay. Whoa. Let's talk about the air show. Air show.
I could keep going.
I know we could. Gosh, I'm having brain fart this morning. Okay, air show. I went to my mom's house on Sunday because my family was doing like a little get together after the air show, and they all were making fun of me so hard because I used to freak out at the air shows. Oh my gosh, I hated them. I thought they were so loud. I hated going to these shows. And every year my parents would drag us to the air show.
Tori, by the way, you've said some stuff. Okay. Tori, by the way, sounds like she was a very dramatic child. Like
I think my mom makes it sound worse than it actually was, though.
I don't know, but sometimes your dad's over there. Your dad is stoic. Like, he'll, like, nod his head. Be like, okay.
I think my mom makes it sound worse than
and
it
so now Tori's
was,
this big girl, this tough girl that goes to air shows.
I know, the air show.
And her family's like, well, let me tell you.
So apparently
what you used to do.
So I can remember going, and I hated them. They were so loud. That was back when like the Blue Angels, I want to say, went like every year, and those things are loud, like crazy. And my family was cheap as dirt. Love my family, but like we would hike up there at 8 a.m. and just sit on this hill, and it was 95 degrees outside.
Get some lawn chairs.
Yeah. Anyway, I did not enjoy the air show, but now I love the air show. I live for it, and then our kids love it too. So we were really blessed, and we were able to go to the show. Yeah. It was Josiah. They've all been before.
They've all been to a version, yeah.
A version. Has
Lila?
Oh yeah, Lila's been. Yeah,
we all went down to McMinnville, I think.
You're right. When the Blue Angels were here.
Yeah, they've all gotten better. Well, we all have our headphones now. We all have our blankies. We have our system down. Josiah and Lila are good if they have their water. We were in an area that had popcorn. Like if they had their snacks, headphones,
then they're set.
They're decent. Okay.
But Josiah was like locked.
Yeah, he was very chatty about it all.
He loved it.
So I started talking hard.
You were kind of annoyed because he talked though, because he like every airplane he was like, Dad, Dad. Do you see it? Do you see the airplane?
We're all wearing headphones, okay? So everyone imagine this for a second. We're all wearing headphones, and he just keeps talking. He's screaming. He's talking, but he's like...
He's so excited
because he can't hear. And I can't hear him. And it's like, I want to watch... I cannot take off my headphone.
Every time.
There's an F-35 right above us. I'm not going to take off my headphone to hear you say something irrelevant that I can see with my own eyes, okay? So just keep your headphones on. Watch the show. I'm going to keep mine on, and we're going to go about our day. Okay.
But he loved it. Like he was so excited about it. He wanted to show everybody the airplanes. He was like, "You guys are gonna miss this."
Yeah.
Like the show's right in front of us,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Do you guys see it? Do you see the airplanes?"
Again, F-35s flying over our head. No, we can all see it, Josiah.
And that was the one thing that I felt, because the F-35, it was like the second airplane. I think there was the girl that was doing the loop-de-loops, and then there was the F-35, which is super loud, a really powerful plane. Jet. Sorry. And
was it a choo-choo train?
Yeah. And Sai, like, he loved it, but it scared him.
Yeah.
Because the F-35, like, you can feel it in your body.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it will rattle your whole body. And so I was like, crap, we're done. Second airplane, we're done. There's fireworks at night. We're not going to make it. Absolutely not. And then he loved it. He just got a little unsure.
He did great. It was a great Hillsborough Air Show is a great show.
It really is.
Well, it's when the jet passes you, that's when you really start hearing it. Like when it's going away, almost. I feel like that tripped him out a little bit. Like, wait, what? It was really quiet. And then, and sometimes you don't know where they're coming from too. You have to like look around, and all of a sudden they're like behind us, flying over, and you're like, whoa.
And that's why you have to kind of be careful, because
with kids.
I don't know how there was guys all around us that did not have headphones or earphones
they're
or
all
anything.
vets that are all deaf because they all were in the Air Force.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, gosh, their ears, they can't hear anything.
Which I say that like respectfully, like they all probably have trauma from serving.
The area that we got to like sit in was so cool. Like there was just pilots and veterans all around us, and I think that the air show does such a good job of just really honoring what it means to like serve in the military and what it means to like fly these airplanes.
No, it's a super good crowd of people.
Yeah, it was really fun.
No, it was wild. The drone show at the end, I don't know if I've ever seen an actual drone show like that.
No.
It was one of the best things I've ever seen. It was long. The fireworks show, they had fire bombs going off. They had fireworks going off. And then they had a massive drone show of different things. They had like the drones made like an airplane lit up in the sky. And then they had sound. You can hear like it was like a jet.
Yeah.
And then the drones are moving and makes it look like the jet's flying off. You know, it was way cool.
Well, and even there was like one point that there was a dinosaur, and it looked like the dinosaur turned its head and looked at you.
Oh yeah.
Just wow. It was very cool.
So that was a pretty good peak. Jackson also, they're like some kids, 8th graders were playing, maybe high school. They were playing. Jackson kept asking me, can I go over there and ask them if I can play? And like, I'm like, no, Jackson, don't, like, you're going to annoy them or whatever. They're older kids. They weren't like 4th graders.
Yeah,
they were middle
older.
school.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm like, fine, dude, like go, just, don't embarrass yourself, okay? And he walks right over there. And next thing you know, he's playing catch with these kids because there's like a 20-minute break in between the show and then the firework thing. Mm-hmm. And then he ends up sitting over with them for the rest of the show.
The fireworks show. Yeah. He didn't even sit with us during that time.
Yeah. I asked him later, I'm like, did they talk to you? He's like, not really. I'm like, then what were you doing over there?
So weird.
Yeah. He's like, I was hanging out with them.
And I'm the mom that's over there like, is he being cool, Dad? Like, is he embarrassing himself?
Yeah. I love it though. I would have never, ever walked over to random people.
Ever.
Like, I wouldn't have. Jackson has a desire to go play with people. He wants to go interact with people. So he has that I never had. But then he also has this interaction to go interact and play with people that he doesn't know. You know what I'm saying?
They had a baseball, I think. And that was just like, I have to be over there.
Yeah.
Like, why am I sitting here with you knuckleheads? I want to go with them.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool to see.
So then Jackson also had 10 out of 10
We're
recommend.
still talking about peaks, by the way.
I know, sorry. 10 out of 10 recommend fishing birthday parties. Maybe 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Hold on here.
What?
I would not 10 out of 10 this, okay?
9 out of 10? No, so Jackson had a fishing birthday party with some of his friends. And I thought it was one of the more fun birthday parties we've ever had.
It was a blast. Don't get me wrong there. It was a blast.
Why wasn't it 10 out of 10 then?
At one point, we legitimately had 3 fishing poles tangled. Yeah. And one of the boys took his fishing pole that was tangled with the other 2 fishing poles from the end of the dock all the way to the front. Okay, drags it all the way over there. Goes, Zach, my fishing pole is tangled. And I'm like, okay, where is it?
And we're literally, in his defense, though, we kept saying, bring it here and we'll fix it. And so he kept trying to bring it to us.
Yeah, and I did not realize it was tangled with 2 other fishing poles that were just sitting on the edge of the dock. And
so he pulled the line all the way across the dock.
And these were like the little kiddie fishing poles where you can't see the line. They're like in little capsules or whatever. Anyway.
I don't know how much line that kid went home with.
Yeah.
Probably not a lot, but.
Yeah. So it was great. It was. I totally recommend. But it was definitely like.
Zach did spend a good amount of his time untangling.
There was a couple tangles. And then we did catch some fish though, which I was stoked about. I think that started the party off.
Yeah.
One of his friends caught a trout like right off the bat. And then that, like, everyone's like, there's actual fish in here. Yeah, it's actually possible. Awesome. Let's go. Yeah. Jackson caught a really cool bluegill, one of the bigger bluegills him and I have ever caught.
Yeah.
And then, he just had a good, so it was a different, we've never really done a party like that. We did Lila's party at Play Street.
Play Street Museum.
And then we did Josiah's party at the Dig.
His wasn't really a party.
We didn't really have friends for him, but like, he has friends, but we didn't really have friends.
Does he have friends though? He doesn't have friends. He doesn't have friends.
I'm saying we haven't really done that. We've always had parties at our house or the farm, but so
which I enjoy too, and I'm sure we'll bring it back to that. But just at this age, sometimes it is easier to go somewhere else and just.
It was fun switching it up a little bit.
And we just had pizza. We didn't even eat the cupcakes. No one even ate cupcakes.
No.
The boys were too interested in fishing and hiking, and
that was the thing though. It entertained them for 2.5 hours. Yeah. It truly did. They never came over.
No one said they were bored. No one said
had to drag them off the dock to like eat pizza, and it was just a good group of friends. He has a good group of kids that like good
group of friends.
They're all.
This is like the first year too that it was like it's only friends. Like whoever you want to invite, that's who we're going to invite. It wasn't like. Which it's great to include cousins and our friends' kids and all that. Like that's also fun. But it was like, this is fully Jackson. Who do you want?
Yeah.
And the group that he picked, I'm like, these boys are great.
Yeah. It was a little smaller group too because it wasn't our house. And, I think I limited it to 5.
Only so many kids could fit on that dock.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's like
without falling in.
We're only going to deal with 5 or 6 fishing poles.
Yeah. But that was great. That was a good peak.
No, it was good. He had a great birthday party. So those were the couple peaks.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a pit?
You have a dentist thing coming up.
Why do you have to bring that up?
It's a big pit.
Is that your pit too?
It's my pit too. You're going to be gone out of commish again. You've had this tooth issue for like a month now.
It's been long. It has gone on. So I got a filling. The fillings, it has to all be related because I think what happens when you get a filling is it really does mess with your bite. Like, because it's hard for your dentist to make sure your bite is correct when I am under the influence of anesthesia and I can't feel anything in my mouth.
Yeah.
That's hard to get like a proper bite after. So I've had to go back multiple times to have it fixed. But in the process of doing that, I was really eating everything on my left side because my right side hurt so bad. Because of that, somewhere along the line, I broke a tooth. So it's a debacle.
Yeah, what a debacle.
It was a debacle. And so I'm getting picked up at 6:15 tomorrow to go put a crown and pray to the Lord above that fixes
because now there's all this debate of like talking to different people. Should you get a root canal first? Should you get a crown first? Should you just take the tooth out?
There's so many different opinions and it's just expensive. It's a very expensive endeavor. And so I'm trying to be conservative with what we do first because it's expensive. So I'm praying that a crown will fix it.
Yeah, that's my pit
Your
too.
dad and his friend came to Jackson's baseball game last night, and I was talking to his friend that was there, and his wife just went through this whole very similar scenario. She got a crown put on her tooth about 6 months ago, I think he said.
Yeah.
And she hasn't had any issues.
That's interesting.
So
that's
I'm like, because I feel like you hear stories of people who got a crown and then they ended up needing a root canal and then they ended up needing this, and this. And then I'm sitting here like, well, shoot, that's going to be $10,000 by the time we're done with this all. But then I hear other stories where, I just put a crown on it, never had another issue. So
that's good to hear. That's like encouraging right before that.
Well, and I had talked to my dad, which apparently this is very hereditary because my dad has had multiple broken teeth and he's never gotten a root canal. He's never had he's only ever had crowns.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, well, he might have had a root canal. I might be lying about that, but he has crowns and he's like, yeah, they usually fix it. So
I've had a couple of root canals. Dental work's the worst though.
It's the worst.
So that's a huge pit.
So tomorrow I am not looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
So when you have anxiety with a dentist, can I talk about this?
Yeah.
When you have anxiety with a dentist, which I have very high anxiety, I don't have anxiety about anything except for the dentist for some reason. And my dentist, everyone is like, you need to find a new dentist. That's like so many comments about that. No. My dentist is amazing. I love her. She's like my childhood best friend's aunt. She's like family to me. Okay, love her. But I, for some reason, have so much anxiety with the dentist. And so they give you this stuff. I don't know what it is. That you take before you go to the dentist, and you're like, most people just fall asleep in the chair. They get there and they fall asleep. I got a double dose of this stuff last time when I got my fillings, and I remember everything.
Yeah,
I was awake. I was definitely relaxed. I was definitely more relaxed, and I was definitely easier to work with, I'm sure. But I remember everything. So this time they're like doubling down. I'm a little scared for tomorrow. I'm like,
I'm scared.
I kind of want to just bring like an anesthesiologist with me. Like, can you just come for this dental procedure and just knock me out? I don't want to remember anything.
That's a huge bummer. When do we pick you up?
I have no idea. Like 9 probably.
Yeah.
7, 8, yeah, like 9.
Head your way.
I know you're on dad duty tomorrow.
Who has school tomorrow though?
Everyone. Minus Sai.
Got it. Okay, yeah. But we'll pick you up.
But I'm getting picked up 6:15 in the morning. Hopefully I'm out of my mind. Can't remember anything.
Oh boy.
Yeah, poor Janet.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our peak and piss.
That's our peak. What are we over 22 minutes in? What are we even talking about today?
We'll do a little topic.
Okay, wait.
I have a topic.
Wait. A topic, or are we doing current events?
Isn't that the next thing?
Current events.
Yeah, do a current event. I have one too, but
okay, you go first.
You do yours first.
No, because I kind of can't remember mine.
No,
so you go first.
Okay, I do think it's wild. This is not political. I don't want to get political.
It's always political with you.
No, hearing about Joe Biden's cancer diagnosis, that's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, regardless of what anyone thinks about winning elections, losing elections, if he had won that election and we were getting that he's only been out of the office for 4 or 5 months. You know what I'm saying? If he had won that election and we were hearing about this, do you get what I'm saying?
Well, he didn't run.
Well, he ended up stepping down and then Kamala ran.
Do you think he stepped down because of this diagnosis?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to get political like that necessarily.
Got it.
It's just a very interesting hypotheticals. Like, I don't know. That's just wild to me.
And I think
if he did, like, maybe everything happens for a reason then. So say you are like a Democrat and like, you wanted him to run and win or whatever, but it's like, man, that would have been wild for the nation if the president did get a diagnosis like that while in office, and then just navigating that transfer of power, whoever the VP would have been, you know.
That's so hard. Like, no matter what side of the fence you're on, to hear somebody get a diagnosis like that you feel for them. You feel for their family. Like, these are still people. They're still humans. Yeah. They still have people that love them and that they love. And
when again, like in respect to the office and the president of the United States, one of the more powerful countries in the world, the most powerful country in the world. It was just wild to me. I thought that was, and just hearing about it too. It was like now, and figuring out that it's in a certain stage that's, it's and then there was obviously then the political side of things. When did everyone know that? Who knew that? When, what, where, and why? Right. It's just a crazy story. That's a crazy story to me.
Yeah.
And but mostly like the what if, and how we have navigated that if. Yeah.
Okay. I just finished Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Okay, that's better. Okay, that's a current event. Okay.
I just finished that. Is anybody else watching? Okay, it was unhinged. The season 2 of Secret Lives. I don't think I watched the full season 1. Me and two of my best friends watched it together. I don't think I watched the full season 1. I watched the full season 2, and it was so unhinged. And I was so disappointed. I don't understand how you can have there's like 8 to 10 group of women. They're like beautiful. These women are beautiful. They have everything going for them. They have these families that are beautiful. They're married. A lot of them have trauma. There's a lot of trauma in their lives from the past, but you're in this scenario that it's like from the outside looking in, you've got it all. And these poor women are just tearing each other apart. Like the drama that unfolded on that television show.
Yeah, the tension.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. It was so sad to watch, like again, and some, like a lot of the fights were about money and about brand deals and what these women like can do on social media and how they act on social media. And it's just so sad to see that many women who I think have such a cool thing. Like, people are obsessed with the show, and you have this opportunity to like show motherhood, not just women empowerment and like whatever, it's motherhood. And
but look at you're watching it though. You watched the whole thing.
I did,
and so I'm saying, if they didn't go all drama like that, like no one's watching it.
I don't know. It was every episode. It was like Sally's mad at
but look,
Nancy.
you someone super normal were locked in. I
think it made me feel more normal about myself. Like, I told Zach, I came in one night after watching it and I was like, Zach, you could have married a psycho. Like, I could have been
But
crazy.
Also, Tori, you were on TV. We don't know if these ladies are psychos. Are they performing for?
And
like,
I'm sure that
reality
they're performing.
Television is not.
I'm sure that they're performing, but that's what I told you. I was like, even if I was being paid to perform in that way, I couldn't go to that level of crazy.
Like, you are, because it's not scripted. So it's like you're not acting, but you're also like acting. But it's like there's also like expectation. I look at these shows all the time. I've watched 2 clips of it, and I can say that's a scripted scene, not a scripted scene. It's a scripted situation. The lighting is perfect. The seating is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
The camera angles are perfect.
Everyone's hair is done
Everyone, when they
perfect.
talk, so that took an hour to set up, place everyone, and then someone said, go. Now, what happens after go might not be scripted, but the scenario is scripted.
It's created,
and so then for them to still talk like they talk, that is wild.
So then I guess I'm disappointed though too, because there was 10 episodes and there was no resolution on episode 10. Episode 10 was just like stuff really hit the fan, and it was really just like, it's clear there's going to be a season 3. But you have these women that are like, the Mormon culture is like, I think that like being a mother is very revered in the Mormon culture. And these women, granted, they're like in this scenario that their careers are taking off, but they're all still having kids. Like, they're all still like, 2 of them are pregnant. 2 of them are trying to get pregnant. 1 just had a baby. And I'm like, the fact that like there was one girl who had a baby, and no joke, like 2 days postpartum was showing up to things for her friends. And I was like, why don't we focus on that? Like, that story is incredible. The fact that she just had a baby and she's toting that thing around at these parties. I'm like, well, come on.
Our show did that. If one of us was having a baby, getting married, those were the highest interest, people had a ton of interest in those scenarios. So this show, they have those scenarios coming out, like pregnancies and babies, which can garner just as much as attention and fans as this drama that they're choosing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so when those opportunities do come up, they don't pivot to that or lean in on that. They keep it with the garbage.
I feel like they are going to self-sabotage themselves.
Well, everyone's trying
because there's so much drama. It's like there was no resolution to 90% of the arguments that happened in this show.
Because some of these shows, the show also, I'm sorry to like bursting bubbles here, but like the show also isn't like, they're not doing that show to get rich. They probably all have side projects.
Totally.
It's promoting themselves to then, so say that show blows up after a 3rd season, they all move on to something else, and but they've built these personal brands, which is fine. Right. It's all supported. I support that. You're on TV to build you're on reality television to build a brand. That's where we kind of messed up. It's like we didn't have a product that we were promoting. So when the show did go away,
Oopa-daisy.
Okay.
I just feel like though it was I think it's so irresponsible of reality television. I look at the Kardashians. Like I watch the Kardashians, I'm not gonna lie, but even with them, there's still this underlying purpose of family and like doing things for your family. Like, there's still some wholesomeness to it, and I just felt like it was a missed opportunity with this show to have some sort of resolution. And I think that probably a lot of young women younger than me watch this show. They're fascinated by the show.
And they think
and
that's
now
normal.
They're teaching these women that this is normal to fully go after other women and to not care about anyone's feelings or anyone's livelihoods.
It's the same crowd that will promote like feminism and women should support women and all these other things. But then it's like, look at the product you're putting out. No, but
that's their whole product. Their like mom talk was supposed to be moms supporting moms. And I'm like, you guys just talk crap about each other online.
I'm just saying it's a contradiction. And then,
is.
Yeah, it's a huge,
I was disappointed, but I still watched it. So
that's an interesting current event, Tori. That reminded me of an even more important current event, though. Who just stepped away from YouTube?
So
Jackson
sad.
just spoke about this during his birthday episode. Wild.
I don't know what his name was. His name. It's Outdoor Boys, but what's his name? Luke.
Outdoor Boys.
So sad.
Is stepping away. And we watched it. I didn't realize how big he is. It's all over my reels
page. Yeah.
Everyone's making videos about it.
There was this one. Did you see the video of the guy that's like, this is an April Fool's joke for sure. So this is so funny, Luke. And he watches the whole thing. And then it's like the next episode or the next YouTube comes on. And he just started crying. He was like, no way. This is real.
It's wild. I don't know the guy or anything. I support his decision and all the things, but that's just wild to get to that peak, the amount of hustle it takes to make a YouTube channel.
And he does it every Saturday.
And he like put out those videos, take your kids. Here's the thing too, I'm going to get a little, so you brought up this Mormon show, like women and men, for example. I think there's a difference. Women can make a show of them just sitting around this couch talking about emotions, things, and it could be the biggest show on the planet. Are you sitting on a couch
talking about your emotion things?
But our primary thing is women, okay? And it could be the biggest show ever. Men have to, for big shows, Dude Perfect, Outdoor Boys, Logan Paul, anyone, most guy shows that are big, it requires them to go out and do something, pay for something, travel. They have to be accomplishing something, not just trading ideas or like trading emotions or anything like that. I truly and there's women that make YouTube channels like that where they're off doing stuff, and there's but for mostly men, like I talk about that all the time with my friends, like, hey, we could do a YouTube channel, and it's like, man, for men to get fans, other men to watch, you have to do something, and that usually is it takes you away from your family,
right?
And the Outdoor Boys, for him to mesh those two, where he included his family, but then he was also able to be attractive enough where millions of men and women and families watch him every weekend. You know what I'm saying? A little bit like there's bigger things there than just his channel or whatever.
And I think that I did not watch a ton of his videos, but the ones I did, to me, that speaks volumes to his character, because I think he really was a family guy.
Yeah.
Like,
he put out a product, though.
Like, you don't know what's going on. Like, I hope there's no drama or anything behind the scenes, but I could see it being like, I'm being taken away from my family too much, so I'm going to step away. Yeah. And I think that's really hard to do when you're so successful on a YouTube show.
Yeah.
But if it's not good for your family, or it's not good for you, or I don't know. Did he give a reason why? He just said it was too much? He just
said it was getting too, it was hard to navigate the real world without being, it got overwhelming, fans coming up to him. And
see, I think that speaks volumes to his character. Like, that's the
thing about him, though, too. He doesn't have like a network to back him up, or an institution to help him navigate this. Like, he's a YouTube star. He's you and I. He's whoever's watching this, anyone can become him. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically, you know what I'm saying? Right. And he did it. I just think it's wild that he stepped away. So but also that was the thing. I did see a video. I'm a fan of Joe Rogan. I like listening to some of his stuff. Outdoor Boys should be on the Joe Rogan show.
What does that mean?
I'm saying Joe Rogan has all these other people on his show. Big people accomplishing. Cameron Haynes, all these other people. I wonder if he's ever invited Luke onto his show. I just think that just all this going on right now, that would be a perfect guest for Joe Rogan. And I'm actually shocked. Once it came to me, I'm shocked that it has not happened already.
Maybe there's
0.01% of people listening to this right now would understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's actually
I'm not a part of that percentage.
It's a very huge concept. And I'm super surprised. It would be one of Joe Rogan's biggest episodes, I feel like, if he had him on.
Oh, okay.
That's my
I need to listen to. I don't know.
That's my mic drop.
I don't even know if I know who Joe Rogan is.
You know who Joe Rogan is?
I maybe would if I saw him.
Yeah, he's the biggest podcaster in the world.
Oh, hi Joe Rogan. Sorry. I know that name. I guess I mean I don't know his content.
He's the biggest podcaster in the world.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, and I actually he contradicts me earlier. He's one of the biggest podcasters in the world, but he does put out a lot of content that a lot of men follow, but he's not necessarily doing something. It's conversation, but it's usually he invites people on that have done something,
right.
have accomplished something.
Talks about their
MMA
stuff.
Fighters, like people that, there's a little risk to it. There's a little and
you
then
just proved your point though too. You know who he is, and I'm kind of like, huh? Like it is men,
he's consistently the biggest podcaster in the world.
Joe,
I want to say, yeah.
I know what is
the Joe Rogan podcast.
I know. I feel like I can see his face. Oh yeah. I know who this guy is. I'm
also,
so sorry, Joe.
Commentates the fights, the UFC fights.
I don't watch.
Anyway,
this.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Did we even have a topic for today? Because
I was going to bring up.
We're
already time's off, but I was going to bring up Josiah because this is the Raising Heights show. Okay.
Raising heights.
Raising children.
Raising children.
To new heights. Okay. Josiah's potty trained.
That.
And I wasn't going to say it as my peak because it was going to be the topic of this stage. He's potty trained. We took him out in public multiple times now. We tried to potty train him a couple months ago. If you're following the podcast.
Multiple times.
Yeah. And it just wasn't, he would poop his pants and I'll tell them later.
Yeah.
Okay. He could not be bothered. Okay.
That's so accurate.
Yeah.
I'll tell
and
them
then
later.
a couple minutes later, okay, now I'm ready. I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
But he just didn't care. So he's not ready, and he would just.
And it was turning into a negative thing because we would get upset and frustrated because he pooped his pants and didn't tell us.
But then he just showed us he did not care. I'm going to finish playing with whatever I'm playing with, and then I'll tell you I peed my pants, okay? And so then we'll just find random puddles of pee.
But I credit you because you're the one who did it this time. I came home one day.
No, I would credit him. He's the one that indicated to me. He he had his diaper on, but he came up to me and said, "Hey, I need to go to the bathroom." I'm like, "You have your diaper?"
Oh.
And then he was like, I'm like, "Okay, we could take off your diaper." And then we took off his diaper. He goes, "Pee." I'm like, "Do you want to try underwear?" He goes, "Yeah." So we put underwear on.
Literally since
and then
that
from
moment.
from that moment on, he finally came up to us and
I think
said,
it clicked with him.
Yeah,
finally.
something clicked with him. And he's like,
And we kept saying that. We were like, because whenever you're potty training, and we are not experts whatsoever, but you want it to be a positive experience. And it was not a positive experience. And so it's like, if it's not clicking with him and we're getting frustrated, we have to just stop. We have to take a break.
Yeah.
And so it was like, we kept saying it's going to take something in his little mind to develop, and then it's going to click with him, and then he's going to be.
Well, and I think he, leading up to that, though, I remember now, he would poop his diaper and be like, "Hey, I just pooped my diaper.
I gotta change." Yeah.
It's like, well, you have your diaper on. We don't need to do it right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Or we're out in public, or something okay, hold on. Well, you have your diaper on. We're fine. We're not, this is not the end of the world. So I feel like a couple of those incidents happened too, where he was like, anyway, my topic, but we're out of time, was that he's our third potty trained.
I think we were a little selfish too.
He's talking now too.
Yeah.
Why were we selfish?
Well, I was selfish because I was kind of like, well, we have a couple trips coming up this summer. Maybe it would be easier to just keep him in a diaper for that, and we'll deal with it after. And so selfishly, I think we were kind of like, let's just wait.
Jackson has a leg surgery in July, so it was one of those okay, we're probably gonna have 3 weeks of downtime.
Yeah, that we'll do it then.
And we can knock it out then,
And so, but then now that he's potty trained, and I honestly knock on wood, I keep on saying that, and then I'm like, he's gonna have an accident or something. We're on day 4 of no accidents. So, but anyway, now that he's potty trained, I'm like, that was just silly. That was silly of me to think. Now it's gonna be so much easier. This whole summer is gonna be so much easier.
Napped at Jackson's baseball game and woke up, did not, and said, "I need to go potty."
Yeah, and he wakes up. Yeah. No, he woke up, and I said, "Do you need to go to the bathroom?" And he goes, "No." Sat there, ate a hot dog, and then finally he's like, "I have to go potty."
Yeah, incredible. It
just took that, something clicked with him. Some developmental milestone happened in his mind overnight, and he just
So that's what I'm saying. And also he's talking nonstop now.
He's talking, so it's so funny.
You watch the video of Lila talking.
It's
right?
so funny because the internet can be a really difficult place for me sometimes because I do share our lives on social media a lot. And people, especially with Josiah, they're like, is he in speech therapy? And you really got to get him evaluated and go check it out and blah, blah, blah. But in my heart of hearts as a mom, I was like, I think he's fine. Like, I really, truly believe that he's fine and he's going to get it eventually. And then now all of a sudden he jibber jabs all day long. And he's still toddler. He's still like fumbles his words and he doesn't pronunciate correctly, but we understand him.
Yeah, he's getting there.
He's getting there. And it's just all of a sudden overnight, it's sentences too. He's telling me about his day. He's telling me what he wants to go do. It's not just like one or two words.
A month ago, he started saying yes. He would only say no, 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 no. And now, yes.
Yeah, it's so cute. Yes.
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 I love him. He's so he's just hit these milestones and so if I can give any advice to any moms out there, dads too, but moms, it's, your kid, like, when they need help and when they don't. And Josiah has always been able to communicate with us. It's very loud, but he's always been able to communicate. Right.
Yep.
And so it's just one of those things that like, sometimes kids just take longer. Sometimes they just take a little more effort and a little more patience. And
it's being patient sometimes too. It's like,
and not comparing your child.
Yeah, are you moving it along because of because
it's inconvenient for you?
Yeah, and everyone has their own agenda. Like I say this nicely, but like sometimes with doctors and everything, like it's that's more appointments, more this, more that, more
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just, are you bored yourself or you have anxiety because you see your friend's kid is talking? And so it's like, are you like you want something to go do?
And I think it's a genuine thing though too. Like I have a background in child education. And so I think that things that are common sense to me and that I think I've taught you, it's just common sense, but that's not common sense to some people. Like some people don't know, make eye contact with your kids, make them repeat what you said, make them like, there's all these little tips and tricks that you can do with your kids at home that I'm sure, I know a speech therapist knows way more than I do, but it's not like I have like a basis of like how to get kids to like interact. And so
I guess I'm just saying like, obviously speech therapists are important and all the things, but like just sometimes we hold on.
We jump to it.
Yeah. Like this isn't like everyone starts talking when they're 2. Like you read the books, it's like from 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Like there's a 2-year period here and your kid might just be a little bit more on the later side, which is fine. But like,
our pediatrician, our first pediatrician that we had, he, I think, put it in the best terms for me possible. Like he gave the best advice. And that was every kid talks by the time they're 5.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Unless there is an issue.
Yeah.
And so that I always kind of took that as like, give them time to figure it out. Lila didn't start talking until she went to preschool. It wasn't until we put her in school. And that's one of the reasons why we put her in preschool. Because we were like, you need to go talk to other people. It's and like now she listen to her pronunciation. She talks like a teenager.
Because like sometimes, it's like potty training too. They just have to like there's something else that they have to figure out in their brain. And so if we fast forward that, like you're skipping some steps then maybe like invisible steps where it's like, again, if something's actually wrong, that's a whole different topic, and there'll be other things there. But I'm saying like if it's skipping steps where then you don't really have a true foundation or the child doesn't because you kind of skipped it. So the performance looks good, but like, is it a true performance?
Right.
They can like talk, but they can't read and write, like, so they don't actually understand what they're saying. They're talking though, so they're performing, but they don't understand what they're saying. Something else, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
And we're like, this is just a very like, I think we knew with our kids that they are developmentally where they need to be, and I think that we really trusted our instincts on that. And like, this is just our situation. This is our circumstance that we're talking about, and not because there are very real other situations that like you can't just sit here and be like, oh, they'll figure it out, like, no, we're talking about our personal experience with our children.
Totally.
We looked at all 3 of our kids because they were all late talkers, and every single time I would start to panic. It's like, look at them. They're communicating.
Well, yeah.
They're healthy. They're not showing signs of like distress or frustration.
The message would just be like, sometimes I feel like we like slow to react. Like, are we responding to something or are we reacting to something? And are we reacting to outside pressure or our own insecurities? And therefore, if you ask that question, say yes, take a minute, and say, all right, what's actually best here? Not based on all these other things. And maybe you come to the same conclusion, my kid should be in therapy or speech therapy, whatever it is, fine. But like go through those steps, like what is the real reason I'm motivated to do that?
Yeah, totally.
And it could be helpful or, take it or leave it. My thing also, that's our third child. We need to get rid of half that baby stuff in our garage. That's what I'm saying to you. Okay.
I'm excited to get rid of the diapers.
We have so many strollers. The changing table, so many wagons and strollers that we don't need anymore. Okay. I'm just saying that's more. Why am I
in trouble all of a sudden?
You're not in trouble. I'm just saying that's our summer project.
I know.
Like we're out.
Not a baby anymore.
We're getting rid of diapers. We're cleaning house.
We're getting rid of diapers.
The boys' room is going to have a major overhaul this summer. We're going on a break. When are we going on a break? This portion of Raising Heights is brought to you by Cozy Earth.
We love Cozy Earth.
We love Cozy Earth.
We've talked about Cozy Earth more than anything else on this podcast, I feel like.
Cozy Earth is our bed sheet company that we get our bed sheets from.
We have the bamboo sheet set from Cozy Earth, and they are hands down our favorite sheet set.
Yeah, fantastic company, fantastic product, material.
I love them because we can wash them very often. We do wash them very often, and they don't pill, and they keep their quality. They only get softer and just more durable. And I love the temperature control on them so we don't get super hot.
Yeah.
I love them.
That's super interesting. I still don't quite
Zach doesn't know how that works.
I'm comfortable, okay, but like how does that work, Like is there a knob on the sheet?
They just know. They know.
Yeah, so.
I have their pajamas, and we also have their towels. All of it is just delightful. We love them.
Yeah. Love Cozy Earth. You can get all those things in one-stop shop.
They also have a 100-night sleep trial, which is mind-boggling to me because it only took us one night to figure out that we love these sheets.
Yeah.
But you can take up to 100 nights. Plus, there's a 10-year warranty. So if they rip or anything, they pill. Like, what other sheets have that? I could have saved hundreds.
Yeah. Not a lot of products have that.
Not a lot of products have that.
3 months, so 3 or 4
Unbelievable.
months. Yeah.
So we love them. We love Cozy Earth. Go check them out. You will not regret it. Luxury should not be out of reach. You guys can use our code HEIGHTS for 40% off best-selling sheets, pajamas, and more. Trust me, you won't regret it.
Nope. Sanctuary awaits at Cozy Earth. When are we going on a break?
I know.
July 1st?
July 1st?
To September 1st?
To September 1st, I believe.
We're going on a break, I'm pretty sure, for a couple months here pretty soon. But when we come
back... And that's
back,
what we're doing.
Yeah, we're Raising Heights, okay? It's going to be a transformation, okay? We're cleaning out our garage.
We're going to be different people when we come back.
The boys' rooms is going to be like, that's... Whatever the boys' room end up at, that's probably going to be what the room looks like for the next 8 years. The rest
of their life.
Okay, we're changing it up here.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun episode. That was really random.
Do you want to do your membership shout outs though?
Oh yeah. Membership shout outs to the Raising Heights Club. Okay, so we have a couple new members. Okay. Shout out to new members Sarah. Is it Eva? Madison, Susan, Deanne, Drema, Lynn, and Renna. Ashley said that she commented earlier on your Spotify. Zachary, head to Weimar or Sportsman Warehouse and get a fish hook remover.
I know. I've done that. Okay, the little red. It's a red tube. It's tough. Sometimes I don't know if I'm using the wrong size hooks, but these trout or with worms, they just swallow these hooks and they're way down in there. So I have done that and gotten the hook out, but by then you bleed it out. I'm not good at it. So I'm aware of that tool, but it's tough and we don't catch enough fish
to practice.
I do have it. I've tried to use it. And it's a tough, where I still want to keep the fish alive because we're trying to do catch and release. So I am aware of that. Thank you, Ashley.
There is an 83-year-old grandmother who left us a very kind comment on YouTube. It's Ute Gold Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to say that. I'm sorry. But she just really encouraged us to keep loving and being responsible loving our children and being responsible parents. And I love that. Your love is a weapon. That's a good one.
Well, she talks about when we talked about how like kids can be raised in the same house but turn out differently.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, so it's really sweet.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you, Ashley, for yours. You guys can leave us comments. RaisingHeights.com, YouTube. We do check them all. We read them. We love them. Check out the new merch. Members get the Peak and Pit line. So, okay, here it is. Our membership on our website offers exclusive merch, 15% discount off everything in our store. And this is new. Are you guys ready for this? Early and ad-free episodes. Your support, it makes such a huge difference to Zach and I, and we're just really grateful that you guys are here and listening and supporting us and keeping us around. We're very thankful. So thanks for hanging on to that one. That one really had no structure, but we had a lot of fun.
We're trying.
That was a good one. But thank you guys so much for being here. What?
Or that meme with Zac Efron where it's like the Cher song. Do you believe in love? And he's like, I'm trying, Cher. I'm trying.
I'm trying. Oh, dear.
Anyway, all right.
Well, make sure you guys follow us on YouTube, Instagram. Check out RaisingHeights.com. Make sure you follow us on every platform that plays podcasts, all the things. Thank you guys so much for being here. Do your best. Forget the rest.